All right, everyone. Happy Saturday. We've been doing a lot of lessons on YouTube this week. Okay, so first of all, I want to welcome all of our YouTube community. Thank you guys. Things are going really great. Just a quick update. We did pass 15,000 members, which is awesome, or 15,000 subscribers. Our Blues Academy is going really well. We have 20, around 20 plus or minus a few awesome people in our Blues Academy, and I absolutely love getting to teach them every week. Let's talk about this etude that we're going to do today. So this is from Bob's Songbook Volume 1, and thank you so much for all of the interest in this book. I didn't expect all of this interest. The Blues Songbook is in the store, Volume 1 and Volume 2, but I had it for sale, I want to say last year in the store, and not that many people got it, but a lot of people did sign up for the boot camp, and so they got a free copy of it, whatever. So it's still in the store, and I think it's $59, but that's the book, that's the audio files that when you click each song, and then that's the 30 plus videos that goes along with that entire boot camp. And we're going to do another boot camp within March. So anyway, if you have any questions, let me know about that. But even with all of that crazy amounts of material, which is a lot to go through, it's still less than even one private lesson with me. So it's definitely worth everything. But let me tell you about this book as we go through this thing, is that each song comes out of our Blues Academy. I write songs over the past couple of years. If we have a new member, I write a song for them, and I also write songs that will help you guys in your blues playing. Okay, so let's go over the bass line first. The first thing is you have this bass line, and it is a little bit of a challenge. We're going to talk about how you get this bass line, but I think I have a total of 27 or 28 bass lines that I've done at iMusic Academy. I've written PDFs on all of them. We even have a blues alternate bass lines at iMusic Academy, which has one lick, this most popular lick at iMusic Academy, and it has each different bass line over the same lick. I kind of like that idea. We probably had, I don't know, maybe 10 to 15, 20 people buy that particular thing. When I say buy, I'm saying invest, because it's important to know that I'm not a guy that's trying to sell everything all the time. You're not going to get that from me. But what you are going to get is somebody who's saying, hey, if you're out there and you want to be a part of having a teacher and being a part of our community, and let's get better together, I'm your guy. All right, so here we go. So with this idea of this bass line right here, you're going to get it with muscle memory and knowing how to practice it. The only reason I can actually have a conversation or talk to you guys is because I've practiced this thing over and over, of learning how to practice left hand, right hand separately, and then put it all together. So this bass line goes through the entire song, another IMA comp day. So your left hand is going to go 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 5, 1, 2. So the notes C, C, E flat, E, G, C, A, G. And with everything, I always teach that there's always a way to use the grid. In other words, you find out where the beats line up to learn anything. And instead of having kind of a lilt feeling or a sort of a groovy kind of feeling, you can go straight and slow. And this is what I recommend. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And just as a reminder that with all of these licks and ideas and these charts that we do, you can do a simple bass line. You can do 1/5 to 1/5 of the scale to 1/6 quarter note bass line. Let's talk about the right hand. And if anybody wants to say hello in the chat on this Saturday morning, I see we have 2 people watching, which is better than 1 or none. So the first thing is this: on another comp day, I love this idea of continuing the 5th note of the scale, the 6th, and the root. We did this in another song recently, boo-doo-da, but then it goes minor 3rd, major 3rd very quickly. And you guys are already starting to know the importance of yes, you have your minor third where you have your blues scale, you can play all those notes, but we want to hear that major third every now and then. Let me not do the bass line that's here for right now. Let me just do a quarter note bass line for my beginners, and I'll do the other bass line in just a minute, but listen to the sound of this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3. Let's do that again. Now there's so much in that one line right there. So we have the 5th note, 6th note, and as of yesterday's blues lesson, we talked about how nice it is to use the 6th note of the blues. You have ba-da-da-da-da-da-da, or ba-da-da-da-da-da-da. I could go all the way through the blues, the C blues, and instead of playing the first 5 notes of the C blues, I'm going to go down 3 half steps, which I would do as well. I'm going to go down 3 half steps, and now I'm on the A blues scale. All of those notes are going to sound fantastic because that's the 6th note that we love in the key of C. And then we have the root, which we love, and then you have the 2nd note, and then you have that minor third that we love. So I could go here, or I could go, or I could do this. So in this particular lick, the start of this song called Another IMA Comp Day, which has its own, all of my titles are weird, just so you know. They all relate to our Blues Academy. So I did, this is a couple years ago, I did a lesson, an extra lesson for our academy, and I had taken off a comp day. And then it also has a double meaning in that we're talking about comping chords, which we're going to do today. So we have this idea of 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2. Okay, so let's talk about all the different things that are going on. Obviously, you have your 5, 6 root, minor third to major third, boo-doo-da-da. But you also have a 2-note comping chord. Just like we talked about yesterday, as you can have 2-note comping chords, 3-note comping chords, you can have 4-note comping chords in your right hand, and you're filling in the gaps. As I play this melody, boo-doo-da-da, right there, 1 and 2 and 3. And often you're going to have the end of 2 is a great place to put a comping chord, but it's wherever there's a gap and you want to add a little sauce to it. Maybe 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3. All right, now let's talk about the comping chord that I put in there. It's just a 2-note comping chord. You have the flat 7 of C and you have the 3rd of C. So that's a 2-note comping chord, but it works great because that tells you, the 7th always tells you whether or not it's a flat 7 or a major 7, or the 3rd tells you whether or not it's major sound or a minor sound. So if we have the 3rd and the flat 7 and the 3, that's a 2-note comping chord that's going to sound great. And just listen to it. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3. Now we're going to go on to the second line, but before we do, I want you to emphasize again this idea of boo-doo-da-da. If I was playing a blues song or a jazz song, I could use this idea as a lick over the entire blues. I could go boo-doo-da-da. I'll do a simple bass line. When I go to F, now let's say that I was going to use just that. Now I could put the comping chord with it, even over a blues, a jazz blues, or a regular solo blues. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... So if I was playing jazz, 1 and 2 and 3... right, you get the idea how that works. This is interesting to me that I have people emailing me and asking me all the time, hey, do more jazz things. And what I try to tell them is that, first of all, there's a strong love for blues on this channel and some of my other channels. But blues and jazz work so beautiful together. In fact, sometimes I'll play a lick or do a lick or something, and somebody says, do more jazz. And I'm saying, you would use this in blues and jazz. Even this right here, boo-doo-da-da. This is blues or jazz. And so that's why this Bob songbook, it's both. It's blues songs, jazz songs. And just know that you can always mix and match these ideas and cross each genre. So you have jazz things that work in blues and blues things that work in jazz. All right, now let's go ahead and get back into our bass line. The way you're going to get this is maybe not today, but and maybe not tomorrow, maybe not in a week, but if you consistently practice this left hand only, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 5, 1, 2, you'll get it. It'll get easier and easier. In the same way, when I tell you guys to practice this quarter note bass line, and I say don't drag that C, make sure that your bottom note is repeated every time, you'll get it. Same thing with our eighth note bass line, 2 and 3 and 4. And so one way I would like to practice, and I love to focus in, notice that I'm still on the first line, is because I'm trying to show you guys, I want to continue. The way we get better at things, don't overwhelm yourself with trying to go all the way through the song, because once you learn this, this will be super easy for you to learn in not only any key, but also you'll be able to easily learn it the next time you see this pattern, 5, 6, root. We did it yesterday when we did yesterday's song was 5, 6, root. It was like this. So that's another blues song that I think we did 2 or 3 days ago. But notice the connections even between the last 3 blues etudes that I've done from this songbook this week. Is you have this 5, 6, root. Now look at this song, but then it goes 5, 6, root, and it does minor third to major third, and it totally changes the feel. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3. We're gonna keep going now. Now right here it goes to the F chord. So there's my flat third of C, which is actually the flat 7 of F, and all we have to do now is change the bass line. The great thing about these bass lines, especially in the key of C, is as you start to get this pattern down, where you're doing 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 5, 1, 2. When I go to the key of F, it's the same exact pattern. My hand is in the same exact shape. It's just starting on F. And now I do 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 5, 1, 2. And then notice in my right hand I do this. Okay, now what is this chord? So I was here, and now I'm going to go, these are called guide tones when you do movements and half steps. I go from the flat 7, 3, and that's the 1 chord of the C blues. Now watch what happens when I go to the 4 chord, which is a very important, very common step to go from the 1 chord to the 4 chord in the blues. Ba, da, da. And then you can go simple blues. You go ba, and you can go ba, ba. And then to get with this chord right here, all I have to do is go down a half step, and now I have a 3 flat 7 of F. Remember that we always spell chords going left to right. So if I tell you a formula and I say flat 7, 3, well, what in the world am I talking about? I'm saying from left to right, give me the flat 7 of the C scale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, that's normally it has a B natural, but we're going to flat it. So that's my flat 7, and then my third note of the C scale, C, D, E. So then that wants to go on the 4 chord down a half step. This voicing wants to go down here. And now I have 3 flat 7. And one of the most important things I could tell you is that as you're spelling chords, you always think of that key signature that you're trying to spell. So here I was thinking about C major, and I go flat 7, 3. And then here I'm thinking 3 3, flat 7. So a flat 7, 3, left to right, turns into a left to right, you do 3, flat 7, which is a nice way. It just inverts. Okay, now let's keep going on this line. We're working on it. Da, da, ba, and then it goes back. Now, this third line, I absolutely love the way this works. So this is kind of a pentatonic shape. Well, this picks up to what we were talking about yesterday. Let me go ahead and just, hey, Vicky, good to see you as always. Vicky is a member of our Blues Academy and always first into the chat. All right, we have 3 people that have liked this. Let's get those likes up. It helps me know that you guys are enjoying this. And also, we have 4 people watching. So, all right, let's do this. So now we're looking at the last line. Now, the pentatonic scale, what's the difference of the pentatonic scale? You have a C minor blues scale, which has 1, flat 3 of the C major scale, 4, sharp 4, 5, flat 7, 1. Okay, we know that. And we like that sound. We like that F sharp, blah, da, 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 da. But sometimes we want the minor pentatonic scale, which is 1, flat 3. This is a 5-note scale. 1, flat 3 of C major, 4, 5, and flat 7. So you have everything of the C minor pentatonic scale, but you don't have that tritone. It's a nice sound to have. And we did a song yesterday. Was it yesterday that we did that had the, yes. We did the one I was just saying, or it was 2 days ago, we did this. And then right here it does minor pentatonic. And then major third. The reason that's important is because within that blues song, we had the sound we were wanting, and that's the minor pentatonic sound. So we're doing the same thing on this last line in this song. So I'm on the third line. Let me scroll down so you guys can actually see the music here. Let me do this. I want to make sure you guys can see the last line. The last line, this one is so much fun. I think it's in the window now. Okay, so now you have this idea of minor pentatonic. Watch this. So if here are my notes for the minor pentatonic, I go C, E flat, F, G, B flat, and that could repeat and go all the way up and down. And as a fun little side note, I always tell you guys I love to practice the minor pentatonic in different shapes of 4. So 4 notes, I might practice this to get this so that if you're doing this in other keys, it'll also make a lot of sense. But that's a particular shape I like to teach. And then you go up with your thumb to the next note, which is E flat, and kind of learn that shape and make sure it feels good under your hand. And then you go up another inversion and practice those in groups of 4. And then you go up one more, and then you get to the third shape at iMusic Academy, right? This is shape number 1. Shape number 2 is the A blues scale. And then the third one is the top half of the blues scale. So this idea is minor pentatonic right here. So if I was playing a blues, I go, I have this shape, minor pentatonic. Maybe if I wanted to sometimes hint to that tritone, so even though I'm doing minor pentatonic, maybe I want to hint around at that tritone. Just listen to of how it totally changes it if I hit that F sharp. So okay, so that's a fun way to practice as that minor pentatonic. But let's actually do what's in the piece now. And notice that my finger numbers are 1, 2, 3, 5. Even that is such a great line. I love that. So I have this 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. All right, let's talk about what's going on here. this one walks up. So I have okay, so now let's keep doing that. So this is a little bit tricky, this G7 part. So we have I'm going to recommend you use this fingering if you can. It's 1, 2, 3, 5, 4, 3, 2, 3, and then you slide down into the what we did on F7. And I'm just now realizing that my chord symbol for F is not in the next measure. It's a fail right there. So measure 9, 10, measure 11. I mean, everything's correct note-wise, but there's not an F major written on that line, that chord symbol. So we should update that. Okay, so 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 right here. All right, let's do right hand only. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and da da da. 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 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 1 and 2 and 3. So if I was playing a jazz song, once again, let's say I show up at a jazz place and I play this. Right, it's blues and jazz. And 2 and 3 and 1. So trust me when I say this, as you learn all of this language, it's used in both of the genres. All right, let me check the chat again just to check on you guys and see how you're doing, if you're enjoying this. Make sure you like this because this is a lot of fun to teach, and I just want to make sure that everybody's good. 1 second here. We're going to just do a review, and then we'll put it all together and call it a day. All right, I'm going to go back up here. Let me say something about this other song here, Back Down to the Blues. This is very popular on my Instagram, and I went ahead and just put the picture of it up on Instagram on Jazz Piano Studio. But also this idea of, remember that minor third to major third. So you notice the theme is going here. Da, da, da. Okay, so you can do so many different things. As you learn one idea or one comping voicing, then you just start putting it in your playing. Like if I had this first one, I go da 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 dum. Just forget about the rest of the piece for a second. All I'm going to do is this. All right, now I have to stop because what did I do right there? I did several different things that we just talked about. I went to F, and instead of going da 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 da, I went to F and I went da 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 boom. And then I can't remember if I did something else. I can't remember if I went to F or not on the chord, but anyway. Just by using one idea, and I'm connecting that F. Oh, I know I did a pentatonic something, I think. So So this idea of getting that pentatonic sound is now in my head because I practiced that, right? The same thing with you guys. You get one idea in your head and then you can use it in any of your blues songs. So going back up here, if I'm working on this back down to the blues and I do da 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 da, I showed you guys yesterday that with this specific lick, notice this, a C triad and second inversion, I go minor, major, third, which is so important, and then I go up to the flat 7 and I cross over with my fourth finger, so you have da 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 dum. And using that fourth finger is a great way to connect my ideas, right? My blues scale. I know that if I get to that F sharp, I am good. So if I'm practicing this with a quarter note bass line, da da dum, da 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 dum. So what I just did was just demonstrating of how easy the pentatonic scale fits over that kind of stuff. Now I just played the scale up and down, but the idea was to show you that sometimes you want that sound of the minor pentatonic. All right, now this is going to resonate with you guys, so hang in there. You have this back down in the blues, and I just said this first thing, da, 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 which is blues scale oriented for sure. If you go up to here to the song we're doing today, which has this bass line, if you had that particular bass line and maybe you have this melody line, I could go. So if you took this idea, and then you took this idea, so I could go, or this. So notice that I'm not even using this bass line. Sometimes I might want to use that, sometimes I want to use a different bass line. I could go. Let's go back to the top. Let's finish this out by just talking about one more time of how I did just this idea of 5/6 root. So if I just wanted to do that one lick idea, 5/6 root, major minor third to major third. Or the other one I did. Notice what I did there. I took this idea of da 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 da, and I just decided to play it in different octaves, same exact shape. And then I either did that. Well, let me go back here. I did this, and just kind of got familiar with. Maybe I'm going to practice this one idea for today. Or maybe I'm going to take that idea and I'm going to mix it with this from today's lesson. I'll use this bass line. All right, I hope you guys see how fun it is to mix and match all of these. And the way that all of these songs came, this is from our Blues Academy. These are fun. Let's just read the titles to show you how interesting and how my channel has gone from creating a bunch of courses, which I still create courses, but it's turned into my love for teaching and teaching in a group. We do have an awesome group of 20 students that have been with me for over 2 years now. And we meet every Monday. It's all private, of course, but it's on YouTube. We do privately. We also do occasional Zoom lessons as well, but we meet 8 a.m. on Monday mornings, and everybody can watch the replay. They're scattered all throughout the world, honestly, and all different ages and ranges of people. I have them all the way up to 86 or 87, and it's so much fun. A lot of retired guys and girls, and lots of different ages. So it's fun. It's so much fun to have a community that supports each other. So let me say this: whenever somebody joins our academy, I'll write a song for them, or I'll write a song of the week that we're working on. We take all these ideas, and we're actually using material from our blues courses. There's a whole membership platform that people can log into that has all the courses. We have blues roadmaps, all kinds of crazy things. And then we have practice stream folder. But the most important thing, I could tell you all kinds of fun things about the courses and the access that everybody gets, free access to everything, but it's the community. That's the important thing. So if it's not with me, find a community that you love and be a part of it, because you will get better faster and you will enjoy music more if you're working with somebody. It doesn't have to be me. Find somebody that you like and go for it. All right, so this is the fun part is, over 2 years, I've been creating courses for our weekly lessons. IMA, I See a Pattern Blues. These are terrible titles. IMA, Bass, Solo Blues Transcribed. Let me see if I can find some of the good ones. Tuesday, Shifty Blues, another IMA Comp Day, Back Down to the Blows. IMA Blues to Keep Moving. C, Jazz Blues 8, Trio Etude. Christmas Eve Blues. Jazz Trio Chords and Blues Scale Licks. Dave's Leaving on a Plane. This is actually one of our favorite ones, Dave's Leaving on a Plane. Let me tell you the story on that one as we wrap up. The great thing about this book, too, I need to tell you guys, if I click Dave's Leaving on a Plane, it takes me right there. And if I want to listen to the audio file, I click this camera icon, and it'll pull up the private YouTube of just the audio file. So it's like this. Now there's no life in the audio files, at least the older ones. It's just the notation program playing them, but you at least get to hear them, and you could speed them up or slow them down. All right, so Dave's Leaving on a Plane. There are a couple different versions. This one right here is pentatonic. So I'll tell you the story in just a second. But Dave's leaving on a plane. It's so much faster than the train. They tried to tell Dave it's the same, but it's so much slower on the train. I tried my best to explain. Dave's leaving on a plane. Okay, so that song was born out of one of our longtime members, Dave, who was on the tarmac, who tuned in for his. I think he was going on a golfing trip, and so he tuned in to listen. He said, "Hey, I'm about to take off," and so that's how Dave's Leaving on a Plane was born. But it teaches us a lot, like this idea of Dave's leaving on a plane, and it's pentatonic scale, the whole thing. Da 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 da, and then da 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 da. Dave's leaving on a plane. so much material that you can use. And I do this when I'm playing on gigs. I will play songs that we have done. I played Acshay's Blues to start off my jazz set this last week. The Acshay's Blues is like, I did a video on it. Anyway. All right, let me show you guys just a couple of fun things, and then we'll sign off. All right, this is a great exercise right here. Jazz trio chords and blues scale licks. This is all three flat 7, 9, and just using a blues scale. 2 and 3 and 4. I mean, you turn on a backing track, no piano, and that's going to sound fantastic. That's Jazz Trio, Days Leaving on a Plane. 2 different versions. Here Comes the Weekend Blues. Nice. Bridge Tutor Blues. I'll See You on the 6th. IMA Island Blues. Jazz Trio Blues on the Move. I love this one. That's a fun little lick right there. Get this one down. G, A, C, E flat, D, C, A. So you're getting the exact notes that we started with today. G, A, C, E flat. So very important notes. And then what makes this different is the rhythm. It starts on a different part of the beat, and then it goes to so down to the 6, da 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 da, and then it goes into pentatonic. And then watch this up here. Pentatonic, minor pentatonic. Then it goes and then I like that right there. I think I'm gonna change the fingering on the chart. Should be 2 on C. Let me see why I chose that fingering. Yeah, that works too. Yeah, even turning the blues scale around instead of just this. Remember that if you do just turn it around, it'll sound totally different. Isn't that nice the way that works? All right, we have 7 people watching. How is it we have 7 people watching on a Saturday morning, and other than Vicky, nobody else has said hello in the chat? I think we're going to sign off for now. But guys, thank you so much for all the support. I was blown away with how many people on Instagram and with iMusic Academy, how many people have expressed interest in this book. So what I'm going to do is we're going to do a 3-day boot camp. And I already told Joseph this, who was asking me about this. In the store at imusicacademy.com, it's the book and the replay, which is like 30-something videos. Now, that's a lot of videos to go through, and you get the book, of course. But if anybody sees this and you get the book with the replays, which that's the only option right now, it's Bob's Songbook Volume 1, that I'll give you access to the boot camp, which is going to be in March. And it's going to be the Blues Academy that's doing it. But if you have the hard copy of it and you purchase that, I will gladly let you attend that for nothing extra. And that'll be a 3-day boot camp on Blues Volume 1, which I'm excited about. And you guys have inspired this with all of your emails, your questions, your liking the videos that I've been putting up this past week on YouTube, and of course, your comments really help. It really helps me figure out what you guys are enjoying. All right, I hope you have a fantastic day. Let's leave by just playing something very, very simple. Let me find oh look, there's a Happy Saturday Blues. Happy Saturday in June blues. Let me give you guys a perfect example as we wrap up of how all of this connects together. Repetition is your friend. Minor third to major third. Ba da ba doo da ba da da bum ba da. Ah, it does that again. Da 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 da. All right, guys, have a great rest of your Saturday. I'll see you guys in the Blues Academy. I will see you Monday morning at 8 a.m. And for everybody else, have a fantastic weekend. Thank you for your support on this channel. Vicky, good to see you as always. I'll see everyone else in the next video.